Hello friends, for me and my bright yellow dress, because we are in the middle of a heat wave here in the UK. It is absolutely scorching today. It's about 26 degrees, but I'm inside and I'm filming for you the Answering Your Assumptions video, because this has been making a little bit of a resurgence online, and loads of content creators have been refilming it and answering more of their community's assumptions about them. So I thought that I could jump back on and do assumptions part 2, because I have done this before, probably a few years ago. So I'm back answering more assumptions, and let's jump into it. I also just want to say before I jump in, because I do have a lot to answer, thank you so much for all of your lovely assumptions. 99.99999% of them were just pure kindness. I just wanted to say that I really appreciate you guys being so blooming lovely to me. It means a lot, so thank you for that. Okay, let's go through the assumptions and hop straight in. Oh, hello, Fluff. Okay, let's do this. Number 1, you were wild at uni. That is correct. I was wild for probably the first 2 years. Second 2 years, I really buckled down and just like grafted, because I saw that I was kind of on the brink between getting a 2-1 and a first, and I wanted to get a first, so I just kind of knuckled down. Didn't party as hard, partied a little bit, but really a fraction of what I did in the first couple of years. So I was wild at the start of uni, but as time progressed, I calmed down a little bit and got it out of my system by the time I got to the end of uni. So yeah, I had my fun, I drank heavily, and now I feel like absolutely no need to get completely slaughtered on a regular basis. I can just enjoy a little drink here and there. I don't need to get drunk to have fun, because I just drank so much when I was younger, my liver says no. You've never been insecure about your height, and I would definitely say that is true, and I don't really know why. I never felt any insecurity about my height. I think perhaps because, 1, I come from a tall family. All of my family members are tall, it's just the way we are. Nobody's in my family has ever expressed an insecurity about their height, so that never kind of rubbed off on me. And number 2, at school, nobody ever made a fuss about it. Like, there was one summer where I just sort of sprouted and went from being an average height to being the tallest girl in school. Crazy growing pains that summer, guys, crazy growing pains. And yeah, I came back to school and people made a few comments, but then that was it. I never had the mick taken out of me for being tall, so I don't think it ever became an insecurity, so I feel very grateful for that. Continuing on from the subject of insecurities, you're confident and you don't have any insecurities. Now, I would say yes and no. I don't really have any physical body insecurities, don't have any insecurities about the way that I look, but I definitely do have one insecurity, which Ant can vouch for, and it's just more of like a who I am insecurity. And if I've ever been in a social setting or spent time with a friend or a group of friends, I would always come home and say to Ant, oh, was I good enough friend? Was I good enough listener? Did I ask them enough questions? Did I give them enough space to express themselves? Did I this or that, or did I make them feel heard? That is like, sorry, the light is changing so much, but that is like my one insecurity I have in life. And I don't even know if it's insecurity. I think it's just me wanting to be the best that I can be for the people in my life that I value and love. And then, well, yeah, it is an insecurity. I doubt myself, and I doubt if I am who I want to be for them. So yeah, that's my insecurity that I have. This one just says private school and wealthy family. Now, I can definitely say yes, I did go to a private school for basically all of my education. And then in terms of wealthy family, it depends as what you define as wealthy. They're not like mega rich, bam, 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 splash the cash, but they definitely had enough money to put me through a private education, which says a lot. And although most of our holidays were in the UK, they did occasionally take us abroad and on more long haul travel or European travel, which was such a privilege. So I'd definitely say that I'm very grateful for the incredible childhood and upbringing that I had. And my parents were certainly comfortable monetarily or money-wise. I don't really know what the right word is there, but they were doing all right, you know. You were one of the popular girls at school. That's a no. I definitely was not one of the popular girls at school. No. You look kind, but actually you're kind of mean. That makes me sad that somebody would assume that. I'm definitely not a mean girl, and I pride myself on like just not being mean, because I've had people be mean to me in my past, And after those experiences and how it made me feel, I vowed to myself that I will never be mean to somebody. I'll never be intentionally mean or intentionally make somebody feel bad about themselves. I want to bring people up. I consciously try and do that, and I would hate to think that I'm mean. I would say that by nature, my whole life, I've pretty much been a people pleaser, but I am a recovering people pleaser because I do want to please people around me and make them happy, but I also want to make sure that I'm happy. So yes, I would, to answer that assumption that you look kind but you're actually mean, I really hope that I'm not mean. I really try to not be mean, so fingers crossed I'm not. And following on from that, you don't take any shit. I can definitely say that that is true, but that has been an evolution over the course of my adult life, because I would say that in my teenage years and into my early to mid 20s, I definitely took a lot of shit. And I never stood up for myself, and I never kind of stood up for how I wanted to be treated or how I wanted my friendships, my relationships to work. But I'd say that as I've come into my late 20s now, I just don't take it. I just don't take it. If somebody does something or says something which I don't think is right to me, I will stand up for myself. Obviously, I do it nicely. I'm very fluffy about these sorts of things. So recently I had a friend do something which I felt quite upset about to me. And I just kind of said to her, look, like, I really value, I think you're such an important person in my life, and I don't want to cause an argument here, but this thing that you did really upset me, and it's just because it made me feel like this. When you did this, it made me feel like this, and I'd love to hear your perspective as to why you did that, but I want you to know that this is how it made me feel. And that's how I did it. So I tried to do it like with kindness and compassion, but also I wanted to make sure that I expressed to my friend, like, what you did wasn't cool. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would say that I don't take it, but when I make sure that I'm not taking it, I do that in quite a gentle way, if that's possible. I'm not like confrontational, I'm not argumentative. I just kind of try and bring up the issue and resolve it with kindness and compassion. Next up, you are going to get the vaccine. I mean, I blooming hope so. They are rolling it out really quickly here in the UK now, so fingers crossed I will get my text in the next couple of weeks and I can get my first jab. That would be awesome. I'm really, really excited to get my first vaccine because I feel like it's just a positive step towards us finding more freedom from this pandemic that we have been living through for a very long time now. So bring it on. You have difficulties giving up control. That is correct. I am very much a control freak, massively a control freak, but I am slowly learning to give away some control to some people, but there's certain parts of my life that I just can't give up control. For example, like travel. If I'm traveling with somebody or I'm doing a trip with somebody or going somewhere, I really want to plan it. I want to make like a spreadsheet and a Google Doc and get everything prepped, because when I travel, for me, it's such a valuable time. I want to make sure that I'm making the most of every single second, so I kind of get a little bit controlling when I travel. I want to make sure that like, we tick all the things off and do all the things and have all the adventures and all the experiences. So yeah, I do struggle to give up control. I agree with that. You were the sporty girl in class. Absolutely not. I hated sport. I used to write fake sick notes saying that I had my period so that I didn't have to do swimming. I used to try and skip games lessons. I just, like, any excuse to not exercise, I took it. So it's quite hilarious, the fact that I'm literally a fitness blogger now. You never have days where you do nothing. That is a correct assumption. I just can't. I just can't. I have to do things. I have to get out and about. I have to achieve something in my day, or I don't feel good. So yeah, I don't have days where I do nothing. I can't have duvet days. I used to have them at uni, but I can't have them anymore. I just can't. Another similar one is you never lie in past 8 AM. That is true. Unless I had an absolutely stinking hangover, then I would potentially lay in past 8 AM. But I can't remember the last time I did that. I think maybe the last time I laid in past 8 AM was like 3 or 4 years ago, so I don't really do that. Okay, let's get into some juicy stuff. Most of the questions, most of the like juicy assumptions were about money, so let's get in there. First one was Ant earns more than you. That is true, and does earn more than me. However, we make sure that we both pay our way to support our lifestyle. And also, up until now, we've both made sure that we have maintained financial independence. So we don't have a shared account or joint account or anything. We try and keep things as separately as possible when it comes to our finances when we can. Just because ultimately, I've always said, if something went wrong, and for example, I mean, obviously I don't think Ant's ever going to do this, but if he did cheat on me, or if something did happen, or something bad happened and I needed to get out of the situation, I don't want to feel trapped, and I don't want to feel financially trapped and tied so that I can't get out if something goes wrong or if something bad happens. So I've always had this weird thing where I just want to maintain as much financial independence as possible. So yeah, he does earn more than me, but I earn good money and we maintain financial independence from one another. I don't know how that will go and how that will happen into the future if, for example, we did decide to get married, etc. I don't know what we'd do with finances then. But for now, we just try and keep things as separate as possible, and we both pay our way to support our lifestyle. Next one. Okay, so there's quite a few similar ones to this, like you are wealthy, you don't have to worry about money, you're a millionaire, all that sort of stuff. So it's just a bit awkward to answer this, but basically, I'm doing all right. Like, I'm doing fine financially. Social media and content creation is a lucrative industry, and for now, I am earning well. I don't know how long that will last. This is one of the biggest downsides of this industry, is that we don't really know our financial security as we move into the future, and the future of our career and the future of our finances. I have no idea how much money I'll be earning next week, next month, let alone next year, next decade. So there's definitely financial insecurity, but right now I'm doing all right. But in terms of you're a millionaire, absolutely not, nowhere near. Nowhere near. And the last one that I'm going to answer about money here is you don't take any income from Stay Wild, and that is the truth. I don't take any income from Stay Wild. Natty doesn't take any income from Stay Wild. We would love to take some money from Stay Wild at some point, hopefully in the next few years, but for now we're both just reinvesting any money that the business earns back into the business and growing it. This is a long-term project, and for now we're not taking cash out. Although I will say we have both been repaid our initial investments that we made into the business to start it up, but nothing on top of that. Okay. You're shy in person but seem confident and crazy in vlogs. That is absolutely not the case. I'm definitely not shy. I'm definitely not shy. If you've met me in person, you know this. I love to meet new people. I'm very outgoing. If I meet somebody, I will happily just chat away to them. I could probably make conversation with a brick wall. I just love talking. So yeah, I would say that assumption is incorrect. I'm not shy. I am very outgoing and I love to meet new people. So yeah, that one is not the case. You are an only child. No, I'm not. I have an older brother who lives up in Yorkshire. He lives near my parents and I love him dearly, but he does not want to be in my social media, in my online content, which I totally understand. Like, not everybody wants to be plastered all over the internet. So I don't show him online, but yes, I do have an older brother. He is, did I say this? He's 7 years older than me. You're a glass half full person. Yeah, 100%. Like, I am just sometimes naively and just relentlessly positive. It's kind of annoying sometimes. So yeah, definitely glass half full. Sometimes to the point when I shouldn't be and I should just be a little bit more realistic. You don't want to post about sustainability anymore. Yes and no. Let me explain. Basically, I wanted to push my sustainability focus over to Stay Wild. Like, Stay Wild is one of the ways that I'm going to have the biggest impact, I think, in that sort of area. And also over there, in terms of content, we have our blog, we have our directory, we do sustainability focused content on our Instagram and social media. And I kind of feel like that's now going to be my channel for that sort of stuff. And that's where I want to focus my energy for sustainability online. In person, sustainability is still a huge part of my life, but I've decided to not talk about it online on my main Zanna Van Dijk page anymore, or my YouTube channel, etc. that much. I'll touch on it every so often because it's part of my life, so obviously I'm going to touch on it. But I don't want it to be like a key pillar of the things that I talk about online. I would rather that it is part of Stay Wild, because Stay Wild is, yeah, Stay Wild is like Natalie and I's sustainability legacy. It's something that we really feel like we can have an impact. So that is where we want to focus our energy in terms of that sort of stuff. So yeah, I don't really talk about it on my main page anymore and on my personal channels anymore, but I do talk about it through Stay Wild, and that is why I'm pushing my sustainability energy. And let's do a lovely one to finish with. You are really at peace with yourself and really happy right now. And yeah, 110% I would say you have like hit the nail on the head there. I feel really positive and really good right now. You guys know that I was in therapy for a little while. I've actually just basically cut that down to once every 6 weeks, because I used to go every week, or we did it virtually every week through Zoom when we were in lockdown. But now I've cut it back to once every 6 weeks, because I am just in a blooming fantastic headspace at the moment. I'm feeling really good. Life is good. The sun is shining. Lockdown is lifting. I have beautiful people in my life. I have a beautiful cat to cuddle. I have a beautiful home. I love my job. Life is good. I feel good. I feel very, very happy. And yeah, you definitely hit the nail on the head there. I'm just in a really blooming good place right now, and long may it last. Fingers crossed it lasts for a long old time, because yeah, life is good. I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, please give it a cheeky thumbs up. Please hit subscribe. Please leave a comment down below. And I'd love to see you guys here on my channel. So yeah, make sure you stay tuned for more videos. And I love doing that. I love just sitting down and catching up with you. Sit down videos are some of my favorites. So if you have any more sit down video requests, leave them in the comments and I can definitely try and film them for you ASAP Rocky. All right, have a cracking day. Love you guys loads. Bye.